must be good, fuck the deal. If I fall, I'ma take it down like a pill. Why you show?
Hi gems, it's your girl Ambra here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do something I've never done on my channel before, which is kind of like a get unready with me. And I had an opportunity, the baby sleep, and the fact that I did not take my makeup off last night. We'll get into that later on in the video, to show you guys what new skincare products I've been using. And they may not be new to you, maybe new to me. But it's consistently kept my skin problems at bay. I just recently, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, just had my very first facial, and I don't feel like it gave what it needed to give. Like, she didn't do anything that, like, I need to, like, throw this into my beauty routine. So, yeah, if you guys are interested in what skincare I've been using, but also getting caught up on the latest and greatest and what's going on in the Ambra life, then keep watching. Alright, gems, first things first, I kind of put this headband on because I do have to go to the bathroom and cleanse at some point, but I wanted to sit down and kind of talk with you guys in the prep state of things before I need to step away. But that's typically what I do. Girls who wear frontals, you know, you even so much as even put like your edge band around your hair just to kind of keep that in place while you're doing everything in regards to your skincare routine. But yeah, y'all, I kind of wanted to just jump on here because I've had a really, really rough week. And listen, I ain't gonna pull no cut cards. A breakup is a breakup is a breakup. And I think the last that I talked to you about relationships as a whole, we discussed situationships. And I'm kind of looking at my experience as there's always a lesson to be learned with every engagement you have in life. In intimate relationships with a significant other, or, you know, whatever you fancy, is no different. So where I am right now, so first things first, before I go into that, you can go out and get your Neutrogena wipes. You can go out and get your makeup wipe removers. They can get pricey for only like 25 wipes. So because we live in the land of baby wipes, and they're the most sensitive for her butt, they gotta be just as sensitive for my face, I use some of her baby wipes. During my gender reveal times, people either had to bring diapers if they thought it was a boy or wipes if they thought it was a girl, and so many people wanted me to have a girl along with myself that I literally have a life supply of baby wipes. So I'm just going to go in, so you can see, I'm going to go in and just remove the night before off of my face. Let's start with that. Sorry, you guys. Small intermission, my sister called me. So I'm using the baby wipes, and they are so effective. So where did I leave off? Yeah, so any relationship is really a lesson learned. But baby, let me just tell you what season I'm in. I'm in the season at almost this big age of 40 that I just can't tolerate liars as a whole, but like habitual ones are even worse.
Imagine being grown and still lying. You lying still? Wow, okay.
Because they convince themselves of their lie. And it can be a really dangerous place to be in. I don't know. I mean, I feel like on my social media platforms, I mean, granted, I'm not out here sitting in front of a camera crying every 5 seconds telling you about, you know, I got laid off and my finances are not where I want them to be, and I live in my sister's basement, and I'm turning, like, all these life, I got divorced, and, you know, I'm not sitting here being full of woe is me, because if I continue to speak that over my life, I will continue to live in that energy. So for people who may feel like I'm out here just living life like nothing's wrong, as I should, really, in all actuality, as I freaking should, because I am not the circumstance nor what I've been through, and you're not going to see that on my face, so we can start there. Second, again, back to being a big age, is that why lie like you gonna get a beating or put in time out? you're lying because for selfish reasons. I mean, lying is a selfish act, right? It's because if you tell the truth, then you eliminate the person that you're with from making a conscious decision for them, right? So let me give you an example. If you come with baggage and you're not necessarily proud of said baggage, but you don't tell your significant other of that because you think it's going to make them not want to be with you, then it sounds like a you problem. It sounds like something you should probably work on before coming into anyone's life. But then second, not telling them is really revoking their right to choose whether or not they want to tolerate said baggage. So that's a problem, as you can imagine. And I'm the type of person, especially on my social media platforms, I hope that I'm really coming across as authentically as I truly am. Like, I am a lover of people. I'm not a bad human. I'm not out here doing things to be conniving or misleading or secretive or sneaky, because I just truly believe in the power of karma. Some would say they're faith in God. I have my own reasons, but I think it's just super important that you got to get to a place where you're comfortable being who you truly are and allowing people to either love it or leave it. And if you don't have that confidence build up, then maybe that's a muscle you should work on rather than inundating someone's life to then ultimately get them to a place where they have to make a decision for them because you've been misleading them for so long. Okay, so we wiped our face with our baby wipes, and then I go in with the pre-cleanse. My favorite pre-cleanse is from Dermalogica. This is probably my 5th bottle. This is not sponsored in any way. This is just me showing you all my favorite skincare products. It's an oil base. Now, ladies out there who have false lashes like I do, or extensions rather, you can't put this close to your eyes. Even as a lash tech, I wouldn't even recommend to my clients. But I put a little bit on because whatever didn't come off on the baby light, the oil will break down even further for me. So as you can see how I'm putting it on, I don't put much around my eyes because I can get in there with the cleanser and I don't want my lashes to fall off. That's just one lesson I've learned in the past year that is starting to bite me in the butt. Giving people the benefit of the doubt. Like, when people show you who they are the first time, giving them 20, 30, 40 chances doesn't change the dynamic of that individual. And then you start to feel like, what am I doing to not create a space for someone to just be who they are around me? So that's like self-work that I have to do, right? Just trying to take every breakup in a more positive way because I found myself releasing a lot of negative energy that is just not who I am as a person. And when I start to feel myself get to that place, it's like, whoa, self-reflection. This isn't Amber, this isn't who you are. Like, why would you allow anyone to bring, like, the nasty? Because one thing I can do, honey, is I can drag you with my mouth. I can cuss you out left and right, up and down, bring it back and reverse it. But also, I intellectually can drag you for filth. And I felt myself this week, like, so much was coming out because one thing that I pride myself on, and I will continue to the end of day, is tell you who I am. At this point, because I have a social media platform, you know I've been divorced, you know I was in a domestic violence relationship, I've been with men who have cheated on me, who have lied to me, who have made me feel less than, and I had to do all that self-work to bring myself back up, right? So if I'm telling you this information from the jump, right, to give you a choice whether or not you want to pursue me, right, and then you still pursue me, to then do the very same things that the men that I have shared with you in my life have done to me that gives, that's a sign of psychosis, that that there's mental illness there. I mean, in my opinion, like, why would you know information and then weaponize it against someone you say you love? Right? So if I tell you I was in a domestic violence situation and then you repeatedly tell me that I am the common denominator as to why my relationships didn't end, or potentially, what's another option, like another scenario, or if you're like, you're making me pay for what someone else did to you type of energy rather than be there to help me be a better person, but to use it against me once I've been vulnerable and confided in you. Again, there's a sickness there. Also someone who repetitively and repeatedly lives the same cycle over and over again. So like if you touch a stove and it's hot, at some point you know that it's going to burn you. But someone who constantly like has about 7 or 8 burns, there's a psychosis issue there. That like that's an issue. That's like, you know, something isn't right. Something isn't like completely screwed tight. So we've done the pre-cleanse. What I want to introduce you to is my new cleanser. It's from Ole Henriksen, the Truth Juice Daily Cleanser, orange fruit water and PAH. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my face and we're going to come back and we're going to talk more about it. Alright, so she's clean. This was really nice. It smells amazing. I really love it because it doesn't feel as harsh. It lathers really nicely, so I was able to clean my lashes, which that's also something that we really should be taking seriously, ladies. We need to be brushing our lashes out after we wash them. Sorry that the sun is like going in and out, but like you get the gist. Ooh, baby Rosewood. So yeah, you know, I was sitting here thinking like, wow, even though I'm showing you my skincare routine, it's so important that I share with you guys like real life experiences, because for so long I was ashamed out of fear of judgment. But really at this point I'm at a place where I just need to cover my girls down. Like y'all need to fully be in the know of like how these fools are maneuvering in these streets. And it really doesn't matter if you're 30 years old, 35 years old, 40, over 40. The games are still being played, and I want you guys to fully be, you know, head on the swivel. Not bitter, not negative. Because here's the thing, listen. Even though my experiences have not been great when it comes to relationships, I still am very much a believer in love. I'm very much a believer in the component of two people coming together, joining forces, and creating things. But I also am not a fool to believe that people don't come with stuff, right? I just think that if you're not with a fully developed human being who's fully conscious of who they are, then you will start to see where the challenges are going to be. So you don't want to commit your life. You want to move in with anybody. You don't want to change. You don't want to change how things are rolling with you until you've gotten through the phase of like their representative. And I think that's where I always fall short, is that I fall in love with representatives of humans and not really the human that they are. But then again, if you're misled and you're made to believe, you really don't know until things that happen in the dark come to light. I've always been a component in relationships. I don't go through phones. I don't go through emails. I don't contact anybody that may reach out to me, DMs and things like that, because I truly believe like God got my back. Like what happens in the dark always comes to light.
Be careful how you treat the good people, because messing with them will have your whole world upside down. People that don't bother nobody, leave them folks alone, because the price that comes with messing with them is too high for you.
So I've decided, even with my skincare routine, that every now and again I like to throw in a mask. And I just wanted to show you one of my favorite masks that I've been pulling and gravitating towards. This is the Ole Henriksen Phat Glow Facial. I don't really have problematic skin, so I don't have like hormonal breakouts that often, or like food breakouts, things like that, or even environmental breakouts. But I do have dullness. Like as you can see as I wash my face, if I don't like OD with the moisture, when I put makeup on or something, like my face is going to work overtime, and then that's when you end up being like super greasy. So I'm going to do a little bit of this, since I had my facial Monday and it's now Friday. So I'm really into this right now. Hopefully I don't make a mess. Yeah, there we go. Ooh! Ambra. But, so that's why I felt the need to like share that element really quickly. What else? Also in dating, people who feel the need to remind you what they've done for you, that's like a trigger for me. Maybe like a red flag. Because there's definitely elements in a relationship that come standard. Maybe you shouldn't be talking to others of the opposite sex when you're in a relationship if said partner feels uncomfortable. Maybe you shouldn't be talking to your ex. Maybe you shouldn't be DMing women when you're trying to pursue me. You know, maybe you shouldn't be on dating apps when you're in a like a committed relationship. Like, why do we need the apps, right? These are all things that, believe it or not, you guys, that I have experienced. And yet, me being Ambra, they don't know how to love. I need to teach them how to love. Like, they just need to build trust. And they got, no, never again. If the individual is not fully complete and have done their self-work, you should not be here to psychoanalyze them or be their therapist or be their mothers. Because, you know, me, I have 3 children. I don't have time to also rear a grown man. But if you come across any of that, red flag. Like, and it doesn't mean that the person's a bad person. It just means that that person isn't the right person for you in the stage of life that you are at. So that's something that I've learned. But it doesn't mean that heartbreak doesn't come, right? It doesn't mean that disappointment doesn't set in because you thought you saw this potential in someone, even saw some of the fraudulent activity and thought like, oh, they'll grow out of it. They'll get through it. They'll process from the last incident that you may have brought to their attention and like never become a repeat offender. But what do they say? First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on them. Third time, like, what the fuck? I'm pretty sure that's not it, but you get the gist. So that's just another lesson to be taught and learned, you know? Like, I'm not demanding. This is what my best friend told me the other day. I'm not demanding greatness from people who are expecting it from me. And I want that to sit with you because I am not demanding greatness from people who expect it from me. And like, how have I sold myself so short? You know, that's where I've been beating myself up all week. It's like, Ambra, you knew the caliber of woman that you are. You are fully aware of educated, well-traveled, accomplished. Yeah, I've hit some hard times because I'm human. But like overall, like, fundamentally, like, you know who you are as a person. Like, why would you even so that's still work that I need to figure out with my therapist, who's been on speed dial all week long. But it's just some of the questions that I'm being asked, I want you guys to ask yourself, because it's just important. It's just important. And look, I'm raising a woman now. I'm raising a young woman. And I refuse for my daughter to experience anything that I had to experience in relationships, trying to figure out who I am, what I expect from people, where do I hold people accountable. Like, I still want her to have those sentiments of, you know, extending people grace and when people make mistakes. But I just don't want her to be like a forever chance giver, because those type of individuals, especially the ones I'm speaking of, will continuously take advantage of you, take advantage of your grace, take advantage of what you're trying to expose them to, because they have their own shit to deal with. Like, when you're engrossed in a relationship where you see the potential, you just want to hold on to it. But if God continues to expose someone, and even use people as messengers to expose someone, like, there has to be a moment where you sit still and you know, like, I knew better, y'all. Like, day one, from the moment I knew, but I still challenged, like, hearing God's word fully and clearly. And that's what I'm learning, because I have my hangups when it comes to God. There was times I used to blame God for my last relationship, my married relationship, and felt like he put me in that situation. No, God told me who he was, and I ignored him because I was so caught up in the concept of, like, family and creating this space for my kids. And listen, I have done the work, and I'm still a work in progress, but I fully know what I was doing. But I didn't know, obviously, what happened, what would end up happening. But before it got ugly, God was trying to give me, you know, like a little through the glass moment, and I was like, no sis, I'm good. And very similar to my last relationship, God showed his behind, and I still was like, okay, let me just, what if I try this way? What if I go this angle? You know, what if I give this chance? What if I try to, you know, and it just is not successful. Because even with my last attempt of like a situationship and like, okay, let's pull it back, let's build a friendship, let's let God bygones be bygones, let's like wipe the slate clean. If you're the only one who is doing the work, you can't make someone be who they're not. So if they want to be busy in these streets, and they want to be, you know, trying to cultivate a family, but also trying to cultivate coochie, like, baby, you can't fight. You can't fight. You can't fight that. At some point, you just got to be like, I'm done. Like, God bless you. Have the best life that you can have. God's not done working with you, and clearly God ain't done working with me. So it's probably best that we just skedaddle on, you know, to our separate corners. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to like hone in on with like talking to y'all. Because y'all my girls, like, and guys, like, I just don't, I'm at a place, like, I'm almost 40. I just don't care no more. I don't care about optics. I don't care about being poised and put together, like I, you know, debutanted out. Like, I just don't care no more. I am who I am. I love who I am. I love who I'm becoming. I hate that my heart was broken. I hate that I was lied to. I hate that I had to go through experiences that I did. I hate that I gave and give people who are undeserving of me access to me, right? But what I learned this week, especially with therapy every other day, because I needed it, was I'm giving energy to unworthy opponents. Like, I gotta come to a place where it's just like, you know, okay, like, continue on with your behavior. I'm going to remove myself so it doesn't have to affect my livelihood. It doesn't have to affect my health. It doesn't have to affect my children, right? Because if I'm not good, how can I be good for my babies? So sometimes you need to cut people off. Like, cold turkey, remove them from your life until they're at a place where they're deserving to be a part of your life, if you know what I'm saying. I had to like center myself, ground myself, cover myself with my friends and my family and my therapist to really like get me back on track. I needed to cleanse, honey. I needed to cleanse. Hence, you know, doing this little facial. So I just knew right then and there, I was like, I gotta tell my gems. I gotta tell my gems. Give them signs, give them my experience, so that if it touches at least one of you guys out there, you're like, I have a whole life that is worth living. I don't have time to invest any negative energy or any stress, or guess what? Access to my peace.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but a lot of times it's not even you, it's them. They so used to dealing with trauma, and people that talk to them like a dog, mistreat them, don't even stick up for them. That is what they are used to. So the fact that you brought so much peace and understanding into their lives, there has to be something wrong with you. I'm supposed to be begging you to love me. What is all this peace that you speak of and you show me? You're different. Go away. I'm not used to that. I have to go back to the people who mistreat me and talk to me like a dog and don't value me. That is a representation of love, right? You're different. You show me that you love me, and that scares me because most people that I know don't do that. So I'm going to run away from the thing that I don't know and go back to the thing that I do know.
And I'm worthy of more than the bottom of the barrel basic dust that people like to present you with. I'm just worth more than that. I'm a good person. I'm not a snob. I'm not stuck up. I don't think I'm Hollywood. I don't think I'm better than the next person because, Lord, I got stories. But what I do know is that I see greatness in me. You guys see greatness in me. I see greatness in you. I want to be nothing but a positive force. I want to play with my baby. I want to tell her and give her the affirmations that I didn't have as a child. I want her to be surrounded by positive, influential people, women that she's seen become strong and powerful and notable. I want her to be loved by a man who loves himself first so that he knows how to properly love her. Like, I am just so excited for this phase. And I realized that even though I had to go through things, like, the end state is this. The end state is me being happy. The end state is me being cleansed of ever having to wake up to a text message, wake up to an email, wake up to foolishness, like experience heartache, like, and it's not to say that I won't have my heart broken again, but now I know what to look for. I know how to ask the uncomfortable questions. I'm a Libra. I hate confrontation at all costs. I hate ruffling feathers. I hate fighting. I am someone who, when I feel like I'm upset, I like kind of pack it away and then I implode. Like, I literally give you everything. I can't even be stopped. I'm not even gonna front. And I caught myself enraged last week, like enraged, like I wanted to like spit on someone. And like, whenever you feel yourself like, that's not the lady my mother raised, that's not the woman that I am, that's not the representation I want for my daughter, is when I was like, take a step back, pull from your resources, girl. Like, call the army in, because this isn't you, and no one should be able to take you outside of yourself. So I had to make some tough decisions, and there's definitely going to be some conversations that I'm going to have one day, especially when my kids get older and they have questions, because I intend on being extremely transparent. But let me tell you this, if someone ever in your life tells you that they treated you like a queen, but broke your heart over and over and over again, then they clearly don't know what the definition of treating someone like a queen. Because materialistic things does not make you a queen. You know, doing good to almost tokenize for the bad behaviors that come later is not someone treating you like a queen. Someone treating you like a queen is for her to never have to question behaviors that are inappropriate in a relationship. Treating someone like a queen is knowing their triggers and not weaponizing them. Treating someone like a queen is being an honest, honorable, righteous, respectable partner. It's been a discovery for me, because I'm constantly learning, right? I'm constantly trying to find my way, my path, my purpose. And it's just come to the conclusion that I'm always going to have to be the big sis. I'm going to have to take the licks and keep ticking so that you guys never have to experience this and or dodge it, bite the bullet, whatever the case may be. Because I want to be the woman who was a woman to me, who essentially saved me from my future and what the future looked like, going down a path that is just not me. It's just not me. So this has been sitting. I'm going to wipe it off. Then we're going to get to the fun part, the back end of cleansing. And Bo Bear is awake and playing. But I'm trying to get this done before, you know, the real ear hustlers come home. Okay? Yo, woo, that mask is so fire. So that was the Phat Glow Facial. Oh my God. This is so good. Like, it literally just hydrates my skin. Oh, love it. So now that we've pre-cleansed, cleansed, and did a quick little mask, now it's time to do the back end of the skincare routine. That being like all of your serums, your toners, and things like that. So as far as toners, sorry. So as far as toners, in my experience, I have found such a benefit to a two-step process with toning. Just wait for it. Hear me out. You have your traditional toners. This is the one that I've been using. This is my second bottle. This is the GlowOH Dark Spot Toner. Love that, because if there's any type of dark spots from maybe plucking at your skin or leaving scarring from any extractions that you may experience, love this toner for that. I actually had a small travel size, and Ole Henriksen, they sent me the larger bottle some time ago, and I've been like, been working on this one. But also along with their Truth Juice collection, They also sent over a barrier booster. So this is what they call essence in the skincare land. And what an essence does is allow any of the other products, serums, to really penetrate and work in collaboration and boost the benefits of those products. So that is why I call it like a two-step toning process, because you have your traditional toner that brings your pH balance back to its normal state after cleansers and things like that. And then you have your booster, who then helps boost the other products that you're going to put on your skin. So I like to go in here with these little, what are these things called, you guys? I'm looking at my little, they're cotton rounds. I get them from Target. They're like $1.99 for 100 of them. And I like to use the side that's a little bit more textured, not the soft side, because I like to use that side for I like to use it for the serums. But toners, you just press into your skin like this. So yeah, girl, I hope I'm not alarming you. I know those who've been following me for a long time, this is not the type of content or the way that I talk about my personal life, but it's the season I am. Like, my mother told me when she turned 60, she's like, I am going to be so unapologetic about who I am and what I stand for, that like I've earned the right to not give a fine food nanny. So that's kind of where I'm at. This is my 40th year, and I'd be damned for anyone to come in and just disrupt it and like be confusion. One thing I learned from my therapist, oh my gosh, and it's been a game changer, is that if you are in a relationship and you go and tell your partner how you feel about something and it turns into an argument, hence why in relationships I hardly ever brought up any type of discourse, because I always felt like I was the reason we ever argued. We didn't really argue about like, oh, you did something slick and no, I'm talking about like, you hurt my feelings. This made me feel. I felt like this. That turned into an argument. Baby, I was shut down. I wouldn't even talk. But now I just kind of feel like if you have an argument with me because I tell you something about your behavior that I don't like, I have to just sit back and be like, this ain't a good fit. This ain't a good fit. So when she told me that, it's like veiled, pulled back, edges gone. Like, what do you mean? Now we're going to go in with the essence, and then I like to use the softer side of the pad for that. And as you can see, it just has like a little opening here. Oh my god, it smells amazing. But this is the Barrier Booster Orange Ferment Essence. It's just been a rough one. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about it, because I am like tired of holding things in. Tired of being made to feel like I am undeserving and unworthy, when really we all are. Like, even if I'm not a good fit for you, like, why be hell to someone else's life when you can just skedaddle on down the road being a piece of shit on your own, right? Like, who needs a partner for that? So, but that's just my logic these days. I'm just letting this dry into the skin. And even though you have to go through the tunnel to get on the other side of it, just know that the other side is there. It may take people longer, and I'm sure that I'm going to have moments. There's days I wake up and I'm actually okay, and then there's days where I'm like, I'm really frustrated. I'm so disappointed. I'm like, why did this have to happen to me type of tease? And it's like, now I'm shifting the mindset of like, not why this happened, but how did I allow it to happen? So I'm feeling better about that because of it. So we have our toner, we have our essence on. Now it's time for serums, and I love this part very, very much. I love this part very much because I love serums. They literally do so many magical things. You have some serums, like this is the Dr. Jart Peptidin. This is for firming. Love this. As you can see, I'm like halfway through it. Love that. Then we have the Dermalogica Smart Response Serum. So the beauty about this one and the technology, it reacts to the skin's needs. So whether I need it to hydrate, whether I need to brighten, soothe, or address fine lines and wrinkles, it's based on what my skin needs. Not just like, this only does one thing. So if your skin is more on the dry side, it's going to help support hydrating it. If you have wrinkles, it's going to address that. If you have fine lines, it's going to address that. So for me, it's going to give me the brightening that I love, and it's going to smooth out any texture in the skin. So I love that one. Then to keep it in the family, Ole Henriksen, this is the Banana Bright Vitamin C Serum. It has 15% vitamin, 5% PAH, and hyaluronic acid. And that's just going to create like a plumping, like, baby, invest in your skin. Y'all be like, Amber, you don't use foundation. Ask me why. Skincare. I'm going to go in first with my firming serum. This one has like a little, like, you have to hold it down, suck up the product. And yeah, I just throw it on there, honey. You can do as many serums as your heart desires. But these are my favorite 3 right now. And then I kind of just press it into the skin as well. And if you want, you can definitely like massage. You always want to pull back and up, right? Because we don't want to pull the skin down. Look at me out here estheticianing it up. Now, for those out there who have children, right? And you're probably asking yourself, well, Amber, how do I do this? How do I eradicate someone from my life? Yeah, girl. But like, Ambra, how do I eradicate people from my life? And it's like, listen, I'm not saying this is right. I'm not saying that it's wrong. All I'm saying is that it's what's best for me. And clearly, if you have children with someone, you can't completely remove them from your life. But you can put boundaries, and you can put systems in place to protect your peace and protect your mind. And where I am right now is at the early stage of doing that. I'm doing what's necessary to protect my peace, because within my peace is raising our child. Okay, clearly. She got shot and she need to shake. But what's important is to set the boundaries that are going to be best to maintain the peace in your life. Because whether you're the full-time custodial parent, it's important that the non-custodial parent is not stressing you out, right? It's not wearing on your nerves. It's not being a nuisance, because all of that's doing is a transference of energy onto your children. And I be damned. They didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask to be a part of said foolishness. They did not ask to be a product of anything other than love. So for me, I really set strong boundaries until I'm prepared to be open for flexible engagement. Because you just have to know your audience. You need to know who you're dealing with. Like, you have to set the boundary as high or as low as you deem fit for your lifestyle. And what I need at this point in my life is calm and chaos free. And until that shifts, this is where I'm at. Then I'm going to follow up with the Dermalogica Smart Response Serum that I told you about. This one, in my opinion, is so freaking bomb. I do like a very small amount on the tips of my fingers. And then I also press this down. What I love about this one is that it works for what I need. And for me, I've noticed that it really helps with the texture on my skin. When I have like those random breakouts, or kind of like those environmental type of breakouts where I kind of get rashes right here at the highest points of my cheek. And that's really created a soft base. I love that about this serum. So I'm just pressing that in as well. I'm going to let that penetrate in the skin. And so I hope that was helpful for those who may have that question. It's not always going to be like that, right? You're not always going to have to put a wall up, but until things simmer and settle, you just got to do what's best for you. And what's important, especially with me raising a female, I hate that. We're raising a woman, because we're not an animal. I mean, we're mammals, but you get the gist, god damn it. Because I'm raising a woman, along with these young men, it's super important for me that she is a good reflection of a life that does not have toxicity in it. So if for whatever reason your partner, your significant other, emulates toxicity, just like a stranger on the street, I'm going to protect her from that. So do what works best for you. I'm surely doing what's worked best for me because I am the primary caregiver. And until that changes, that's just where I'm at with it. And I may have, you know, mixed opinions. There may be people in the comment section that may feel like, well, Ambra, how could you keep someone from, you know, keep your child away from, I'm not keeping my child away from said person. I'm keeping my child away from a toxic environment. But I'm definitely not the type of parent that keeps children away because I need a break too. Okay? I need them to also know where they come from. However, where they come from is toxic, baby, I'm going to be a mama first. So, girls like to tussle, I could beat you at your own game. My son used to like, Mom, you always gave dad so many opportunities. I intend on giving Bo's dad as many opportunities as well. However, I ain't 20. So my patience is this short and my tolerance is this big and my expectations are where they need to be for where you are in life. And if you can't meet me or her where she's at, then everybody gonna get a timeout. Everybody gonna get a timeout until they've shown themselves worthy of such a beautiful being as my daughter. Period. Next serum I'm going to use is the Banana Bright serum, and that speaks for itself. It does provide plumping to the skin, brightness. I'm always looking to appear brighter, not in melanin to be super freaking clear. I want to maintain my melanin is why. But brightening to me is because, like I said, I can have very dull skin, especially during the winter, fall months, and I just want to appear more lifted. Is this? You know what? Pause. Because I already have one of these and I don't want to open up a new one. Be at the box. I actually forgot that I even had this because I thought Reese took it with him. Listen, you think teenage girls are a problem? Teenage boys with these girls in their face? So it looks like this. Has the same kind of consistency as the other serums, but like this is my favorite. And banana has enzymes that helps lift and brighten, as well as firming the skin as well. Ugh, girl, you ain't gonna tell me my skin ain't pop, lock, and dropping. This is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. If those out there like me who got young itty bitties and they keep you up at night, or if you're a student and you got schoolwork, or if you just like life is lifing, this right here is a bomb product. And I put this on my pinky finger. But yeah. Oh, and as far as like not caring, definitely was someone who always was caught up in perceptions. I alluded to that a little bit earlier about, you know, being poised and put together. But I'm kind of just reiterating, just like I've earned the right to not care. Like, I used to really be tormented by people who didn't like me. And I don't know if that's like a Libra thing. But baby, I hated that I cared what people thought of me for so long that it literally had me in a chokehold. It literally had me in a chokehold. So you'll get to that place where you just don't care. If you don't like me, it sounds like a you problem because I love me. Now, I ain't talking about go out there and being a whole see you next Tuesday, ladies and gents. Like, I'm not saying be an intentional butthead for people to not like you because you think that's cool, because that's not cool. Actually, it shows you to be even more of a clown. Or people who overcompensate. Like, I'm not the type of woman in any way that feels like you need to be a millionaire for me to date you. I don't care if you have the latest and the greatest. I just know I have me and mine, and like if you want to jump on board, come for the ride. But people who overcompensate to me is a red flag of insecurity. We all have insecurities. I don't want nobody out there to be like, I'm good, I ain't insecure about it. We all have insecurities. I don't care how fine you are, fly you are, smell good, tall, short, skinny, fat. Everybody has insecurities. But there's insecurities and then there's completely no self-awareness that maybe you're trying to be something that you're not. Like, maybe you need to determine who you are as a person so that you don't feel like what you do for people should be currency to love. Love is not currency. Love is a choice, right? So I could go on that soapbox for a very long time. I just think it's really whack and unnecessary, because if someone doesn't love you as you are and who you are, within reason of not being like rapist, murderer, pillager, taker, then they're not the person for you. And if you feel like you have to put on a facade for someone else, baby, you need some work to be doing. You need to work. You need to work. Alright, so we have our serums in. We did our eye cream. As you can see, I put them on with my ring finger, but also I put it on the mobile lid as well. Perfectly okay to do. Just make sure those who are wearing lash extensions stay away from the baseline of your lashes. Okay? Then as far as moisturizer, at night I put on more of a cream. During the day I put more like a water surge or a water gel. I cannot wait for my Sephora order to come in, y'all. I finally replaced my water gel from Tatcha. That is a bomb everyday moisturizer. But tonight, or this afternoon rather, in the sake of staying on trend with the collection, I'm going to be using the Ole Henriksen Sea Rush Brightening Double Cream, honey. She doing double the work. 3 sources of vitamin C and shea butter. You can see, like, I'm a fan. I use it every night. So I hope that this has been helpful. It was kind of all over the place. It was spur of the moment. Like, I knew I needed to do this kind of routine because I slept with my makeup. But, you know, I'm really encouraged. I'm really uplifted. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm over it. I can say that I'm going through it. I am optimistic, which is most important. And you won't ever catch me slipping again. One thing I know how to do is cut folks out like cancer. I really, it's almost scary because I don't know if it's a mechanism to protect myself or if it's my God-given skill set that God is like, when you're done, and there's no looking back. I am very much, if the bridge is burned, the ashes have blown away, and there's no way of putting it back together again type of person. And I have to be okay with that, because if you toggle or you're teeter-totter on the line of like in and out, in and out, in and out, it's going to drive you mad. It's going to drive you mad. You're not going to be the best version of yourself. You're always going to have one foot in and one foot out. And for people who have lived certain lifestyles, that applies to you as well. Like, you can't be from the streets, of the streets, in the streets, but then trying to create a home and wholesome and respectable, honorable life. Like, you just can't blend the two. So, hey, if you're not ready, don't. Just don't mess up anybody's life while you're trying to figure yourself out. It's safer to be alone and be messy than to be in a full-blown relationship and be messy, because then you're pulling so many other variables into the mix. You guys, it's actually second to the last step, which is my favorite step, is you want to then seal in all that work you just did with an oil. This is a cult favorite. This is the Kiehl's Midnight Recovery Concentrate Oil. It is a replenishing elixir of pure essential oils and distilled botanicals to visibly restore the appearance of skin by night. By morning. So you put it on in the evening, and I'm telling you, you will wake up tomorrow morning like, baby, like, this is a game changer. She's pricey. She's expensive, as she should be, because she comes through with what she says she's going to do. So I like to do the oil. If you've been following me for some time now, which I hope you have, I am a avid... I probably should trademark it. If you're not going to be looking like a greasy piece of chicken, have you done your skincare routine? Yeah, so I'm going in here. As you can see, I'm not putting it on my eyes because the oil's around my lashes. That's a no-no. So I'm going to let that kind of do its thing throughout the evening. It's going to continue to penetrate into my skin. And, sorry, it's calling me. And do all the things that I need to do. It's going to work with everybody who came to the party. Oh, you okay, Momo? Oh, she is obsessed with this being bare sensory. And then my final step is my lip mask. This is my Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. This is in the original flavor. I do have it in pear. So her new thing is fake coughing. She'll look at me dead in my face and be like, like, it's her thing. So I do want you to know that I'm not ignoring my child. She's just learning new sounds. So I put this on at night and your lips will be juicy by the morning. So this is my skin. This is what's going on. This is how I prefer to look the rest of the evening. You can go to bed, sit up watching TV. I'm gonna definitely go eat some crabs in a little bit. Or maybe not. I don't know. Do I want crabs? Of course I want crabs from Maryland. But I hope that this video in some way, shape, or form helped you either process some things that you may be going through. Let you know that you're not alone. Girl, I'm still, even at this ripe old age of almost 40 years old, learning so much. Most importantly, trusting my gut, trusting my decisions, trusting that I'll never again lower or dim my light in effort to make others comfortable. And if people have perceptions of me, it's their problem and not mine. I'm not here to convince anyone of my greatness and what I bring to relationships, friendships, partnerships. But I will be an honest person. I will tell my story. I will give you your choice. I will never take that away from you. And for that, I can sleep good at night. Like, I know what it's like for God to whoop my behind. And he don't got to teach that lesson more than once for me. And sometimes you don't always have to wish the best for people. I wish whatever the hell you deserve. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I'll make sure to list all of the products that I used in today's video below. I would love if you guys were to chime in your perspective, your point of views. It should be a healthy dialogue, right? I'm not looking to convince you. I'm not looking to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you how I've been able to navigate heartaches and breakups and transitioning to new stages in life. And if anything this week has taught me is truly how resilient I am and how I'm always going to have to choose me and my children first. And that's just never going to change. There's no way that I can alter that because it's the most important. I have to be right in order to raise these amazing humans that God has given me the blessing to carry. And I am going to really continue to do the work. I'm going to continue to encourage you, to give you full transparency into what the good, the bad, and the ugly looks like. And allow karma to do her best. So until our next video, bye.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're great and they're late. They're going to always be late because they're trying to keep up with you, and what's for you is for you, and they can't have what's for you. So they're going to always be later while you're greater. You will always be the greatest because they're the latest. Love you, bye.
How am I supposed to feel? Hope I swing good, fuck the deal.